सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये। चैतन्यं सर्वगं सर्वं सर्वभूतगुहाशयं यत्सर्वविषयातीतं तस्मै सर्वविदे नमः। ये ऊपर नहीं। We are in the last and 19th chapter of the text, UpadeshSahasri. And this chapter is called Bheshaja Prakaranam. Bhesha means Aushadhi or medicine. So here the basic medicine is being provided. Prayujya Trishna Jvaranashakaranam Chikitsitam Jnana Viragaveshayam Nayati Kama Jvarasannipātajām Sharīramālām Satayoga Dukkhitām. Trishna Jvaranashakaranam Jnana Viragaveshayam Chikitsitam Prayujya. Prayujya, when we employ Chikitsitam or Chikitsa, the treatment of the nature of Jnana Viragaveshayam, the medicine of Jnana and Vairagya, for Nashakaranam, for destroying the Trishna Jvara. Trishna, or the craving, is like Jvara, is like fever. And Sannipātajām, and that fever of Trishna or Kama has risen to such an extent that this fellow has lost all his self-consciousness. He is blabbering something. He is almost unconscious. So that is the effect of the Jvara or the fever of the nature of Kama or Trishna or craving. And there is a Bheshajam, there is an Aushadhi, there is a medicine, Jnana Viraga Bheshajam, of the nature of Jnana and Vairagya. Chikitsitam. So when that chikitsa, the treatment, is applied, then Nayati Shariramalam, that series of bodies or the birth, the repeated birth and death, that is samsara, Nayati, one does not become trapped into that repeated birth and death, Shatayoga Dukkhitam, which is the cause of the hundreds of sorrow, that series of bodies which are born of the sannipata or the fever of kama or so unconsciousness coming from the fear of kama or craving, one does not lend into that because of the medicine of jnana and vairagya. So this is the prayojanam, prakarana prayojanam. Bheshya prayoga prakaranam atmana samvadena prapanchayati. So this rest of the prakaranam now is composed in the form of the samvada, dialogue between the atma and mana, where the atma is addressing the mind. Aham mameti tvamanarthamihase parathamichandi tavanya ihitam natirthabodo nahimesti yacharthita tatasya yuktah shamayeva te manah. So here the mind is asked to become tranquil, quiet, calm down by removing the causes that make the mind distracted, disturbed, agitated. Aham mama iti tvamarth anartham ihase. O mind, recognize that your insistence upon aham and mama, I and mine, which arises from the basic insecurity. So ignorance causes an identification of the body that causes a sense of smallness, inadequacy, lack or want, that causes insecurity. And then that causes naturally something to hold on to for my security. And therefore, the ego holds on to aham and mama, I and mine. He finds the security in aham and mama. So more I gratify the ahankara and mamakara, more I think that I will be secure, protected. Tvam anarthamihase, he mind by thus resorting to ahankara and mamakara. Ahankara, individuality, mamakara, sense of ownership. By resorting to this as the bheshajam, as a medicine of becoming free from sorrow, gaining security, gaining happiness, tam anarthamihase, in fact you are only indulging in anartham or all kinds of sorrow. So this which you have adopted as a means of security or well-being, in fact, is the cause of all your sorrow. This aham mama. Parathamicchanti tam anya ihitam. So, ni sankhya yam. So, parartha means someone different from you. So, you are looking upon Atma or me as different from you. In fact, it is true also that Atma is different from the mind, but the mind is not different from Atma. Vedanta's equation is that Purusha is certainly independent of Prakriti, but Prakriti is not independent of Purusha. Whereas Sankhya look upon both Prakriti and Purusha as independent entities. And then, O mind, you look upon me, the Atma, as different from you, and yourself as different from me. So, parathamicchanti tav anya ihitam. So, Sankhyas believe that your role is to provide for Purusha the bhoga and apavarga. Sankhyas believe that the role of Prakriti is to fulfill the needs of Purusha, and these needs are bhoga and apavarga. Bhoga, the material happiness. Apavarga, the moksha. Na vayam Vedanta Siddhanta Vedina. We do not think that that is the role of mind or Prakriti. That Prakriti can independently do that. Vicharyamane tvam manishitam vai mudha. And so what all you are thinking or desiring also is worthless or useless or mithya. Yataha tena arthabodha. In mind you are unconscious, therefore you do not have the knowledge. Name chasti artita, and I am Atma or Paramatma, therefore I have no need. So you are, the mind of Prakriti is trying to fulfill the need of Purusha. That is the model that Sankhyas have. And their mind is going to be active in trying to understand what the needs of Purusha are and accordingly provide whatever the Purusha need. This is what they think. Meaning that basically Purusha is needy. Purusha needs bhoga and apavarga, and the mind of Prakriti has to provide that. Nahi me asti arthita. But I am not needy. I don't need bhoga or apavarga. Because I am ever complete, I am ever whole and full. Therefore, I don't have arthita. I don't have any desires. I don't have any needs which you are trying to fulfill. So therefore, you have nothing to do. Nate arthabodha. You do not know the reality. And so you assume that the Purusha requires bhoga and apavarga. And therefore your role is to provide that. And that is why you are doing what you can do. To provide the needs of Purusha, maybe the mind has to indulge into ahankara, mamakara. So understand that all of this has arisen from a lack of knowledge or false knowledge. So recognize the reality that Purusha, the Atma, name arthita asti, has no need whatever. Therefore, you, the mind, the Prakriti, has no role or no compulsion to do anything, understand? So recognize that and become quiet. Because the activity will be there when there is a need. And if Purusha is thought of the needs of bhoga and apavarga, then of course the mind will be active or engaged in fulfilling those needs. But mind recognizes that I, the Purusha, has no need, narthita. Therefore, there is no role that you play. Therefore, calm down, recognize that there is no need for you to do anything. Recognizing that, calm down. Tatasya yuktaha shama eva te manaha. Hey mind, therefore, te shamaha yuktaha. Shamaha, the tranquility, is the only proper thing for you. Atman arthitva bhavam sadhayati. On what basis do you say that Atma has no need? Yato na chanyah paramat sanatanat sadaiva tripto hamato na methita. Yato cha anna anyaha paramat sanatanat. I am paramat nirvikarat sanatanat purnananda rupat. That I, the self, is sanatana, nirvikara, or purnananda rupa, I am parama, nirvikara, sanatana, purna. Therefore, there is no need. I am free from all lack and want. And so need does not go with Atma, it does not go with me. Sadaiva truptoham, I am always truptaha, always contented, always satisfied. The whole Trupti Deepa Prakaranam in the Panchadashi. Atmanam ched vijaniyat ayamasmiti purusha kimichan kasya kamaya shariram anusanjvarete. Atmanam ched vijaniyat ayamasmiti purusha. In this Purusha recognize that I am Brahma, Ahamasmi. So, Atmanam Vijaniya Ched, when knows the true nature of Atma, I am Asmi, that Brahman I am, Kimichan, in the Purnata, desiring what? Kasya Kamaya, for which desire? So in Purnata, the object of desire does not remain, the desirer does not remain also. And therefore, no need to do any activity at all which is prompted by a sense of inadequacy. Sadaiva truptoham atah na me arthita. All arthita or all the desires, the needs arise only from a sense of lack or want or incompleteness, which is what causes self-dissatisfaction. When I recognize myself as inadequate in any situation, then there is a dissatisfaction with myself. Sadaiva truptam. But in no circumstances do I find myself inadequate. I will be inadequate as long as I judge myself based on this body or mind. In various situations, I will find myself inadequate. In my perception, what the situation calls for and what my capacities are, very often I find myself inadequate to meet with the demands of the situation. Then there is self-dissatisfaction. Then arthita, then there is arthita, the need, desire to gain satisfaction from something. Sadaiva truptascha. But here, I am sadaiva trupta, na kamaye hitam. Therefore, I have no need for any hitam, for any well-being, for any welfare. I don't need. Yatasva chetah prashamaya te hitam. Chetah prashamaya yatasva, that way mind, may you always so recognize that your restlessness arises from a misunderstanding. Atma is a needy being, and that it is your role to fulfill that need. Recognize that Atma is nitya trupta. There is no arthita, there is no question of being a desirer, being a needy person. There is no need there. And so you have nothing to do. Your role is to fulfill the need of the Atma. But Atma, I am trupta, they are free from need, there is nothing to do. So recognize that and become quiet. Yatasva chetah prashamaya. Prashamaya yatasva. So your restlessness or your activity arises from this understanding that you have to fulfill the needs of Atma. That Atma is in need of the bhoga and aparaga, and then you have to provide those needs. Says no. Sadaiva truptaha. I'm always trupta, always content. But that is my nature. Trupti is my nature. There is nothing that can be always content. As long as my contentment has to come from somewhere, it cannot be that I am always content, because I cannot always, because my need of contentment also will grow. More contentment I receive, more I am in need. So as long as I am dependent upon something other than myself or contentment, there cannot be nitya trupti or sadaiva trupta. Nitya trupto nirashraya, as Lord Krishna says, this wise person, nitya trupta. Nitya trupti, trupti is the nature. If trupti is something that is natural without any effort, then only it can be nitya. Only nature can be nitya. Something which is unnatural or some incidental cannot be nitya. What is essential can be nitya. So sadaiva truptasya. I am ever content, therefore na kamaya hitam. I have no need of any hitam, any welfare. Chetaha prashamaya tasva. Recognizing this, may you strive to calm down. Because all your activities arise from this misunderstanding. Apply right understanding and calm down. Te hitam, that is where your well-being is. Your own well-being also is not these activities will lead nowhere. Because activities have arisen from a certain understanding that Atma needs something. And so whatever you do to fulfill needs of Atma which are non-existent, the result is nothing. You are addressing a problem that does not exist as an illegitimate problem, but there is no solution. Therefore, tehitam, it is in your well-being that you calm down, recognizing that nothing needs to be done for Atma. So, 2 verses we have done, 3 third. Shadurvimala bivritta eva yaha saiva chatma jagatascha nashrutehe. Huh? चौथा है ये क्या? So this we have done this much, right? So going to the 4th, yeah. Paramatma abhedena swasya arthitva abhava uktah. Paramatma abhedena, because of the non-duality with Paramatma, because there is no division of Paramatma. I am Paramatma. Swasya arthitva abhava uktah. Therefore, the teacher said that there is no arthitva, there is no desiring in me because I am Paramatma, I am ever complete. Tamev abhedam upapadayati. That what you think is individual self is Paramatma, is a limitless self. There is no difference between the Jivatma and Paramatma. So the abheda of Jiva and Paramatma is being now upapadayati, is presented here with reasoning, Shadurvimala, so that is the 4th verse. Shadurvimala vyativrutta eva saeva chatma jagatascha nashrutehe Pramanataschapi maya pravedyate mudaiva tasmacha manastavehitam. Pramanatascha api maya pravedyate. Saivacha atma jagatascha na shrutehe. So saivatma jagatascha atma. That the self of me is the self of the universe. That is Paramatma. And what is the nature of the Atma? Shadurvimala bhyativrutta eva yaha. Atma is one that is distinct from, has arisen from, or distinct from this mala or a series of Shad Urmi or the 6 waves. So they are well known: Ashanaya, Pipasa, Shokaha, Moha, Jara Mrityuriti, Pranamano, Deha Dharma, Shat Urmaya. So in the ocean of samsara, or sometimes river of samsara, ocean of samsara, the 6 waves are there which are all the time attacking you. Ashnaya, Pipasa, hunger and thirst, Pranadeha, Pranadharma, Shokaha, Moha, Manodharma, mind, and Jara Mrityu, Deha Dharma. So these are recognized as 6 urmis or 6 waves. Avirbhava, Tirobhava Rupaha. Because it is the nature of wave to arise and subside. To arise and subside, that's how waves are. These urmis also, Asanaya, Pipasa, Jara, Mrityu, Shoka, Moha. Arise and subside. Therefore, they are compared to the urmis or the waves of the ocean of samsara. Urmaya eva ayurbhava tirobhava rupaha. They like the urmis or the waves of the nature of avirbhava, tirobhava, of arising and subsiding. Tesham mala, this word mala is used here very often. Avichinnaha paramparaha. So, tesham mala, if you want to say, or avichinnaha paramparaha, and thus the unbroken series, of these waves, going from one birth to the other. Shadurmimala abhyati vrittaha. So abhyatitya vrittaha. Abhi atitya vrittaha. Atitya transcending them. Abhi abhitaha, from all the sides. So abhyatitya sarvatmana prasakritya vrittaha siddhaha. Who is Atma? One that transcends all the 6 urmis. Yashanaya pipase shokam moham jara mrityum atyeti. So please tell me, ya Atma, ya sakshat aparokshat brahma, ya Atma sarvantara tanme vyachakshveti. So that is sakshat aparokshat brahma, that is sarvantara. Please explain to me that. So it is well recognized that atyeti transcends Atma or the self, that all these Shat Urmayas belong to the Upadhi. Upadhi consisting of prana, sharira and mana. And so all these urmis, they belong to these 3 levels of Upadhi. And then who am I? I am the one that enlivens the Upadhi. I am the consciousness because which the body is the mind is enlivened, the prana is enlivened, the body is enlivened. And therefore, the one that enlivens them, one that illumines them, one that provides the satta sphurti to them, is naturally independent of them. Therefore, this arising and subsiding of hunger and thirst, etc., all belongs to the Upadhi. Abhyatitya, abhitaha, atitya, sarvatmana, prasakritya. So Atma is someone that transcends them in every way. Sarvatmana, so abhitaha means sarvatmana. In every way, it transcends prasakritya. So therefore, one should first of all do the prasakkaranam, separating Atma from these urmis. Recognizing that these urmis have absolutely no contact at all with Atma. Atma is ever free in spite of this storm that's going on in this upadhi. And therefore, this storm of the waves have no effect upon the Atma. So recognizing that is how you lift the Atma. Uddaret Atmana Atmanam. You lift yourself by yourself, recognizing that these things are an Atma, and therefore they are dependent. They depend upon Atma Satta Sphuti. Sarvatmana Prasakritya, doing the Atma Anatma Vivekaha. By various ways as explained in Viveka Chudamani, Atma is nirvikara. That will also come subsequently here also. Vrittaha Siddhaha. So Atma that obtains as transcending the six urmis, Nishprapancheti avata, which transcends the prapancha, samsara. And so Atma is ever a samsari, ever free, ever unaffected by the dharma of the upadhi, that is samsara dharma. Shadurvimala prati vritta evaha. Vritta obtaining, existing, siddha. The one that obtains, transcending the six urmis. Saeva Atma Jagatascha. So Atma that transcends the six urmis at the individual level is also the same Atma of the Jagata, of the universe. Evam vidaha seva Jagata sarvasya Atma. So this Nishprapancha Atma also is the Atma of the entire universe, because the upadhi and the universe are in the same category basically. Upadhi is of course the vyashti. Jagat is samashti. But after all, Jagat also is nothing but samashti upadhi. And therefore upadhi has no connection to upahita. The costume has no connection whatever with the actor, except for the identification. Otherwise, the actor always transcends all the limitations of upadhi. And therefore the Atma, that is Atma of this individual, is also the Atma of the universe, because it is Nishprapancha. There was Sarva Samsara Dharma Titaha. When they transcend all the samsara dharmas, then has no dimension, has no boundary. So the self also has no boundary, and therefore, it, just as it informs its upadhi and enlivens its upadhi, it also informs the entire universe. The Satyam is the adhisthana of the mithya. Seva Jagat Sarvasya Atma Chakarat Tava Ahameva Atma. Chakarat, he is the Atma of the individual body, of the Jagat. That means I am your Atma also. Chakarat Tava Ahameva Atma. So, O mind, recognize that I am your Atma as well. Shrutehe. For us, this is the Pramanam is Shruti. Nah. Yes, Yat Sakshat, Aparokshat Brahma, Yatma, Sarvantara ityadu Shravanat. Yat Sakshat, Aparokshat Brahma. Yat Brahma Sakshat, Aparokshat, which is direct and immediate. Aparoksha, immediate, Sakshat, or Aparoksha is direct and immediate direct, Sakshat direct. That means without any vyavadhanam. The Aparoksha of the Nayayikas can have vyavadhanam. So for them, this flower is Aparoksham. I know this flower directly. But then there is Vyavadhanam of the eyes or sense organs, mind, etc. So Sakshad Aparokshad Brahma. There is immediate as well as without any Vyavadhanam or without any kind of the intervening factors. Without the intervening factors of the sense organs of the mind, which must be self-effulgent, and that's the self. So, ya Atma Sarvantara, that's important there. The Sakshad, the Parokshad Brahma, that is the individual self, and that is Sarvantara, the self of all. Ityadu Shravanat. Ahamatma Gudakesha Sarabhutasha Sthita Ityadi Smriti Pramanatopi. And the Bhagavad Gita says, what's the verse number? Like Eluchan. Barabar. He Gudakesha Aham Atma Sarvabhuta Ashaya Sthitah. Sarvabhuta Ashaya Sthitah. Ashaya is Antahkaranam. So Sarvabhuta Antahkarana Sthitah. I'm the one that's shining in the mind of all the beings. And Atma of Sarvatma shining in the Antahkarana or Ashaya of all the minds or all the beings. So Shruti also says, Ya Atma Sarvantaraha. Shruti also says, Aham Atma Gudake Sarvabhutasya. Sarvabhuta Ashaya Sthitah. So Pramanataschapi. Chakarat कार्यकारणोपाधिद्वय परामर्शमंत्रेण स्वतः भेद अनिरूपणात् इत्यादि न्यायात्. So how do you say that I am the self of all? It is my experience that you are different, I am different. Therefore, Bheda or the division between myself and the rest of the world is something that is very evident to me. So, then how do you say that Atma is one? He says the Bheda or the division can only be experienced when you look at the world from the standpoint of your Upadhi. Karya Karana Upadhi dve Paramarashamantarena. Either Karya Karana, you can say, these Upadhis, Karya Karana, Sthula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram, or sometimes Karya Karana, that also includes the Karana Shariram. So Upadhi Dvaya Paramarshamantarena. Karya Upadhi is one and Karana Upadhi is another one. Karya is body, Karana is Antahkaranam, and Karanam is the Avyakta. So only when you are aware of this Upadhi, when you relate to the world based on this Upadhi of your personality, otherwise you cannot see the duality, otherwise you cannot see the division, cannot experience it. I experience the division between you and me because I am looking at relating to you from the standpoint of this body-mind complex. The body-mind complex does not come into play if I recognize myself as that is a witness of the body-mind sense complex. And therefore, I relate to the world without bringing into play this costume of the upadhi of gross and subtle bodies, recognizing that I am different from them and therefore I look at the world not through them, look at the world through myself. So upadhi paramarsha mantarena, unless the upadhi paramarsha is there, unless the upadhi of the gross and subtle bodies is brought into application, brought into picture. Svataha Veda Anirupanat. So we say that I experience duality all the time. I experience the world is different, I am different. But that I is defined by the upadhi. That I includes the body and the mind, karyakarana upadhi, karyakarana sanghata. And that is why I am confining myself to one karyakarana sanghata and then declaring that the world is different, I am different. If I don't do that, if I recognize that karyakarana sanghata is my costume, so in the consideration of I do not bring them into picture, then I don't experience duality. Ityadi nyaya. So Shruti is there, ya atma sarvantaraha. The yukti is also there. That the division that I experience, the separateness I experience, the exclusion that I experience from the world is on account of my confining myself to upadhi. Which is what I do. That's what I habitually do, is to confine myself to upadhi. Therefore, Bheda is not the reality. Division is a standpoint that arises from my own standpoint of myself. So, depending on my perception of myself, there is perception of the world, perception of you. And therefore, since my perception of myself is that I am a limited, confined being, therefore everything outside that confinement is different. Vidvat anubhavacha. So Shruti is there, Yukti is there, Anubhava also is there. It's the wise people's experience. Maya pravedyate samyak jnayate. So, hey, O mind, I know that I am not only your Atma, I am the Atma of the entire universe, and that I know from the Pramanam of Shruti and Smriti. Also, Yukti becomes Pramanam if it is in keeping with Shruti, and also the experience of the wise. Pramanataschapi maya pravedyate. So, pravedyate samyak jnayate. Prakarshena vedyate samyak jnayate. So, therefore, this oneness is known to me by the Pramanam as well as by my own perception. Mudeva tasmacha manastavehitam. So recognizing my mind, recognize that you have nothing to do. You take into account this reality of I, who is the self of all, and who is therefore ever complete, therefore ever free from any need. I don't require any favor from you. I don't require any support from you. And therefore, if you think that you need to do this, that and so forth for the sake of me or Atma, they recognize there is no need and they will calm down. Mudeva tasmacha manastavehitam tvaihitam chestitam. Therefore, O mind, your chesta or activity is mudha or vrutha or futile, purposeless. Serves no purpose. Pratyagatmanah Paramatma Abhedam Pramanikam Uktva. Pratyagatmana Paramatma Abhedam. Abheda, the non-duality, the identity or the oneness of Pratyagatma and Paramatma. Pratyagatma, the individual indwelling self, Paramatma, the self of all. So Pramanikam means that is accepted from Pramana. That's what Shruti says, Smriti says. So that is how the Upanishad begins. Begins with oneness. Atma va idameva ekagra asit nanyat kinchana mishat. So Upanishad begin from that, begin from non-duality. And then explain how the duality came into being, how the universe was created and so on. And so explaining that way that creation is mithya, so duality division also is mithya. Pratyagaatmanah Paramatma Vedam Pramanika Muktva. Here Anandagiri asks a question. Ashanayadinam Atma Sambandhitvena Pratiyamananam Katham Atma Dharmatam Varayatum Shakyam. You are just declaring that Atma is Ashanaya, Pipasa, Shokam, Moham, Jaram, Mrityum, Atyeti. And therefore, that they are not dharma of the Atma, they are dharma of Anatma. This is what you say. But we always experience hunger and thirst and old age and etc. always connected to Atma. Atma Sambandhitvena Pratiyamananam. We always experience the hunger and thirst, grief and delusion as centered on the self, conscious being. Katham Atma Varayatum. Now how can you say that? Because Anatma cannot have this dharma. All these dharmas can only be on the centered on conscious being. And body and mind, etc. Mind doesn't feel sad, etc. It's Atma that feels. So katham varitum shakyam. How do you deny that this grief, delusion, etc. are not the dharma of Atma? Iti ashankya, having raised that doubt, going back to the Tika Pratyagatmanah Paramatma Vedam Pramanika Muktva, that from Pramana of Shruti Smriti Yukti Anubhava, that Pratyagatma is Abhinna Paramatma Abhinna, meaning that having shown the identity, describe the identity of Paramatma and the Atma, Bheda Pratipasasya Manah Kalpitatvena. If Atma is one and self of all, then how do you explain the Bheda, that I experience the division that you are different, I am different, world is different? Bheda Pratipasasya Manah Kalpitatvena. So that is projected by the mind. It's the mind that projects duality where in fact there is non-duality. Therefore, abhasatam upapadayati. The duality that you think you are experiencing is not, it is only abhasa. Bheda abhasa and not the real Bheda. It's like watching in a mirror and you see other Swamis. In parallel mirror you may see mirrors, you may see many. You may see many self. But that is only abhasa of many, not in reality that there are many. And so also you see the division or the duality, it is not reality, it is only abhasa. Veda pratipasasya manah kalpitatvena is the mind that projects this abhasa, because what is not there and still appears has to be abhasa only. It has to be an appearance. It's the kalpana. And there is kalpana or projection by the mind. So the mind that projects the division where in fact all there is one undivided whole. Abhasatam upapadayati. Therefore the next verse shows how this division that we recognize, we see is an abhasa, an appearance and not a reality. that you are different, I am different, that duality of the division is an abhasa. So, next verse says, त्वयि प्रशान्ते नहि चास्ति भेदधीः यतो जगन्मोहमुपैति मायया ग्रहो हि माया प्रभवस्य कारणम् ग्रहाद्विमोके नहि सास्ति कस्यचित् त्वयि प्रशान्ते नहि चास्ति भेदधीः. O mind, as long as you are vibrating, as long as you are active, that means that you are active means all you do is projection. That mind, your nature is to project. So whenever you are active, that means you are projecting. Tvai prashante, when you calm down, then there is nobody to project that Veda or duality. Nachasti Vedadihi, then that Vedadihi, the notion of duality is not there, O mind, when you calm down, when you become tranquil. Yato jagat mohamupaiti maya. Because it's jagat maya mohamupaiti, the whole universe becomes deluded on account of maya. So that's what the Tikakara explains. Yataha. So bhedadhiyaha jagat pranijatam moham akuli bhavam akrutarthata abhimana lakshanam lakshanaya maya upayati nityam sambadhyate. Pranijatam moham maya upayati. Pranijatam, this whole universe. Moham upayati attains moha or delusion. What is moham? It says here, akuli bhavam, vyakuli bhavam, agitation, restlessness, akrutarthata abhimana lakshanaya maya upayati. Maya upayati. The maya creates in the mind the sense of, creates agitation arising from a sense of inadequacy. So mind is agitated all the time because of maya. What does maya do? Akrutarthata abhimana lakshanaya maya. Akrutarthata abhimanam. Akrutarthata, a sense of non-fulfillment. Krutarthata, fulfillment. Akrutarthata, I am not fulfilled. So akrutarthata abhiman lakshanam, looking upon oneself as unfulfilled, as therefore inadequate. So this is what Maya does, creates in me a sense of unfulfillment or a sense of inadequacy. So akuli bhavam means vyakuli bhavam, agitation. So mind is always agitated on account of the sense of lack or want. Akrutartha. I am not krutartha. I am not fulfilled. I am unfulfilled. And therefore, constantly a sense of self-dissatisfaction is always there in the mind. And therefore the poor mind always is agitated. So there is called moham here. Moham means generally, moham means aviveka, etc. But here, moha means akuli bhavam. So moha also has, different, meanings in our vyavahara. So here moha means that mukhyati, muda janaha, and so muda mate. So one who is vyakulaha, akulaha, akrutarthatam, abhimana lakshanaya maya upayati. So this Veda Dhyaya, this whole notion of Veda or the division, Jagat Upayati, Upay Nityam Sambadhyate, the Jagat is always Sambadhyate, connected to the Dvaitam, or the division, duality, which creates sense of inadequacy. So duality or division means that you are different, I am different. You exclude me, I exclude you, and that's how I confine myself to my boundary, which I think creates for me a safety. But this fencing that is created for my supposed safety only creates in me a sense of confinement. So akrutasata, I always feel incomplete, unfulfilled. As long as I confine myself any boundary, naturally what is outside the boundary is not in me, so therefore I exclude myself, by confining myself to this boundary, and always suffer from a sense of akrutasata, always suffer from a sense of incompleteness. And that's what keeps the mind always agitated, in one way or the other. And therefore the whole Jagat, because of creating a division between itself and the rest, always suffers from a sense of akrutasata or unfulfillment or inadequacy, and therefore is always agitated. So Maya Upayati, it is Maya that creates this false notion. Here Maya is akrutasata abhiman lakshanaya Maya. So Maya of course is Maya, but then among various things that Maya does, is it creates in me the notion of akrutasata, sense of inadequacy, unfulfillment, and therefore everything is not yet done, things remain to be done. Kritakrityaham, I am not kritakritya, having done everything that needs to be done. And so that always keeps the mind active, agitated. All looking for krutartha and all planning what to do to feel krutartha. To feel a sense of fulfillment, I need to do something. So mind always is engaged in some scheme or the other of seeking fulfillment from, and so you keep different, you keep planning different activities, different projects. And therefore, nityam sambadhyate, all the time, it is connected with this moha or agitation. And that is the result of this vedati. Because of this, the notion of the division. Sa vedati tvai manasi prashante nacha asti. O mind, when you are tranquil or quiet, there is no bheda or no duality. Then there is no incompleteness, there is no agitation. Sushuptau tvad tat abhav darshanadityartha. In sushuptvad abhave, O mind, when you are not in a deep sleep state, at that time there is no sense of inadequacy at all. So when the mind is there, as in waking and dream, there is this akuli bhava, inadequacy, agitation. In deep sleep, mind is not there, there is no agitation at all. Therefore, agitation is nothing but the product of you. अन्वय व्यतिरेकाभ्याम भेदग्रहस्य अनर्थ हेतुताम upapadayati. Vedagrahasya. So when you perceive Veda, or when the Veda buddhi arises in you, when you think that what you perceive it involves Veda or the division, perception is there. The sense organs only give me the data about what is, about the objects. But that there is Veda or the division is something that the mind projects. Eyes just say this is a color. It doesn't say it is different from you or you are different. That Veda or the difference or duality is something that is only the notion of the mind or projected by the mind. Graho hi maya prabhavasya karanam. And therefore, this maya which creates agitation, inadequacy, when will it arise? When only there is a perception of this world. Perception of the Jagat is there, that is when the sense of the division is there, that is when the inadequacy is there, that's when the agitation is there. And therefore, Sushuptau Tvodabhave Tat Abhav Darshanat. When you are not there in deep sleep, then there is no perception of duality, then we find that everything is quiet. So, Graho hi maya prabhavasya karanam. Therefore, graham is Veda grahanam or Veda buddhi. So, whenever you perceive the duality, that is when the maya. So, Veda creates maya. It's a very interesting thing here, Usually, maya should create graha, but graho hi maya prabhavasya karanam. That projection can take place provided there is perception. So when you see, then you imagine something. When you perceive something, then there is a projection that is different from you, or you are different from there, or it is one, etc. And so it is that graha or the perception that creates ultimately this notion of projection. Graho hi maya prabhavasya karanam. So maya prabhava, the maya, the projecting power, and then it creates the inadequacy, it creates the agitation. All of this is when you perceive the duality. If you don't perceive duality, projection is a result of perception. This is what it says. When you perceive the duality, then there is a projection of division. Grahad vimoke nahi sastikasya chita sushupti adau veda sushupti adau. So sushupti, mursha, etc. is all right, but for a wise person also. So for the wise person knows the mithyatvam of the duality, for that person also veda graha abhave. Therefore the notion of duality does not arise in him, and therefore the maya cannot create moha or agitation, inadequacy, etc. cannot be there if the notion of division is not there, and that is not there if perception is not there. So you perceive the universe, then there is this duality, then there is projection, then there is agitation, and therefore grahohi, maya pravasya. The maya is there, but maya is sort of enlivened or made active, or maya is, let us say, impelled. So maya is impelled in activities when you perceive the duality. Don't perceive the duality, maya doesn't become active. Grahat vimoke nahi sastikasya chita. Therefore, you don't perceive the duality. Don't perceive the duality, then the maya is not aroused, and therefore the projection is not there. And therefore, mind, you calm down, give up all the perceptions, etc., calm down. So these are the mind is addressed, and I think we'll have to take a break here for some time now. This is the we'll meet again week after next, I think. Yeah. 18મી રખાશે. ઓમ પૂર્ણમદઃ પૂર્ણમિદં પૂર્ણાત પૂર્ણમુદચ્યતે પૂર્ણસ્ય પૂર્ણમાદાય પૂર્ણમેવાવશિષ્યતે. ઓમ શાંતિ શાંતિ શાંતિ. શંકરં શંકરાચાર્યં કેશવં બાદરાયણં सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम्।